Hello, hello, and welcome. Let's roll the shoulders and start to breathe. Breathe in through the nose, out through the nose. Maybe tilting the head a few times just to open up the body a little bit as we begin our ankle practice, because it's all connected. We're going to start with rolling your feet. Surprise, surprise. No, just kidding. I love a good foot roll. This is the foundation of your ankles, so we're going to go for it. Just start to roll what feels good on the bottom of your foot. And while you're doing this, just take your attention to your breath, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Nice and easy. Make sure you get this plantar fascia stretch. This is one of the most important parts to open up that whole line of plantar fascia through the big toe. And on the second side, make sure you get all those nice spots. And we're going to go for the plantar fascia stretch over here. Excellent. Now we're going to take it down to the floor. You need a yoga strap for this one. And we're going to lie on our backs. If you don't have a yoga strap, a TheraBand works just as nicely for this exercise. So we're going to put the strap across the ball panel of the foot, meaning the big toe ball and the pinky toe ball all are going to push and pedal into the strap. So you want to push the balls of the feet or the foot nice and slow. Slow pushing in, slow coming out. That's about the rhythm. Pressing in nice and controlled, coming out nice and controlled. So one thing you notice about your ankle is that your ankle doesn't have muscle. Your ankle is just bones and tendons and ligaments. So what you want to do for strength is strengthen through your lower leg. So this is what you're going to feel working here. Now this is the second part of this exercise. This is the awkward ankle. And it's awkward ankle. The pinky toe side of the foot is going to fold up toward the outside of the knee and then come back to neutral. And awkward ankle, nice and slow. Come out of awkward ankle, nice and controlled. And repeat this. You're going to feel it here. This is peroneus. And peroneus is, let's go ahead and switch sides. Put your other foot in, pull the first foot out. That's what it's all about. All right. So your peroneus is one of the main muscles. We're going to pedal in nice and controlled and pedal out nice and controlled. You know what you're doing here. Just like the other side. The peroneus is now called also fibularis. They just decided to give it a new name about 15 years ago. And this muscle is the main muscle that's connected to when you sprain your ankle, getting your ankle put sort of back together. So you want a strong peroneus to prevent ankle sprains. And then if you happen to sprain your ankle, that's the main one you want to work to heal. All right, still pedaling in here, nice and easy, nice and slow. Now going into awkward ankle on this side, nice and controlled. Feeling that bite on the outside line of the lower leg. Again, that's peroneus. I'm going old school, calling it peroneus instead of fibularis. Same, same. Awkward ankle in, awkward ankle out. And you do have tension on the strap or the band for sure. Let's go ahead and unstrap the foot. Take a deep breath, roll your ankles around, and roll to your side. We're going to come up to standing. So this is an ankle strengthener that I really love. We're going to place the ball between the heels. So your heels have this little divot, and that's going to cause you to point your toes forward, and it's also going to cause you to use your feet muscles and your lower leg muscles. We're going to slowly rise up. I want you to keep your head over your hips and your hips over your heels. So if you feel yourself leaning forward or pitching forward in order to come up onto your toes, I want you to hang on to a wall or a piece of furniture that is really solid. And you would put your face in front of the wall. For example, you'd face the wall and just put a couple of fingertips up. And that'll tell you whether or not you are leaning forward. Nice and easy, nice and slow. Control, control up. And control, control down. I call these the releves for your ankle. Releve, like in ballet. Releve means to elevate. Nice and controlled. And if it doesn't feel controlled at first, that's okay. Stick with it. Your stick with itness will help you build the skill in your muscles here to control the lifting, the slow lift up and the slow lift down. Let's go ahead and release and then roll the ankles 1, 2, 3, and the other one. Excellent. All right, we are going to make our way back down to the mat. And keep your ball, keep your fascia ball. We're doing a lot of rolling today. This is your shin bone, right? Most of us refer to this as a shin bone. Right on the outside of it is a trough of fascia that you're going for. So you're going to place the ball on the floor and roll your lower leg forward and back. And when you are discovering, just take a moment and discover what you feel. But you might feel like there's a bunch of muscle up toward the knee that is maybe tight, maybe a little sore. And if you stay there, put your knee on the floor and then move your ankle around, you'll feel how how your ankle is connected to your knee. Keep breathing. Now let's switch sides. Sometimes when my ankle feels a little tweaky, this is actually one of the remedies when my ankle feels a little bit weak. Just keep this one in mind in case you ever need it. You'll never need it, but in case you know someone. All right, don't forget to breathe here. Come on out. And now keep going just a little bit longer. Just a little more. Gosh, this feels good. All right, now come out. And we're still going to use the ball. Don't go anywhere. We're going to put it again between the heels. You're going to flatten your feet, so pedicure to the floor. and then sit back on your heels as much as possible. But you got to keep your heels squeezing together so you can keep that ball in place. Now, for my friends who are a little more flexible or maybe have done this a few times, you can start to lean back. You're going to feel some tension release. Most likely, you'll feel some tension release in the lower leg. Release, take a breath, maybe shake your feet out a little bit. And we're going to go back in one more time. Pedicure on the floor, heels reaching toward each other to grip the ball, keep it from falling on the floor, and sit back on your heels. And this time you might notice there might be a little less tension. So you may be able to lean back or sit back on your heels a little bit better here. Just be where you are today. Things change if you do them again. And gently come out. Place the ball to the side, and we're going to make our way up to standing. Take a deep breath. And we're going to balance. This here I call kickstand. We're just balancing on one foot with the other foot propped up on top. This is one of the best ankle strengtheners I've got. But for my friends who are a little more practiced at this, say that you're a little more seasoned and you want more of an ankle challenge, step up onto a block. We're going to be here for a little while, so I want you to get comfortable and breathe and feel your body relax. There's a lot that goes into balance. Your eyesight, your vision, your proprioception. Pick a moment where you feel stable and then move into this position here, knee up, clasping under the knee joint. You're welcome to roll the ankle here. Just stay steady and breathe. Now I want you to be at whatever level you are at today and honor that. There's nothing wrong with being on the floor instead of on a block. We're just working our way up into some of these poses. Pick a moment where you feel steady and come into a tree pose. The outside of your foot is on the front of your thigh or on the front of your shin. You're welcome to do whatever you like with your arms here. I'm just going to keep mine in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. Stay balanced. Pick a good moment where you're steady, and then we're going to move into the next position. So you can take your hand on the outside of your foot, or you can take your fingertips around your big toe. If this doesn't work for you, you can stay in tree pose. You can stay in any other pose, but if it's going really well, you may want to extend your leg in front of you just to give yourself a nice little challenge. You also might want to move the leg out to the side. Now you see my knee is bent here because if I were to straighten it completely, I would have to sort of let my shoulder come out of the socket a little bit. So I'm staying connected. Here I'm twisting around to the other side, switching the hands, and a twist while I'm balanced here. And this is just to give you a few options, all right? No need to go through things that you're not ready for. I promise if you keep at it, you'll work up to a really long hold because your ankle strength will elevate. All right, let's do that other side. If you're on a block, flip the block over. If you're on the floor, just stand on your other foot. Here we go. Make sure you're breathing and staying nice and relaxed. The more relaxed you are on the inside, the easier you'll balance. Let your eyes gently focus at the horizon. If you're moving your eyes around, you certainly will feel a little bit more imbalanced. Pick a moment where you feel steady. Then we'll come into the next position, interlacing the fingers right underneath the knee, staying nice and steady. The twitching of the ankle, the grabbing of your leg muscles, that is what helps you balance, and also what makes your ankle really strong. Pick a solid moment, and you're welcome to take that knee out to the side. It's going to turn some hip muscles on. Good morning, hip. And maybe moving into tree pose. Again, these are all just suggestions. I'm going to let you do what you want here with your balance. And I'm going to move this leg down a bit. This is tree pose. I've got my foot below the knee joint. So this is another way to be in tree pose. And then again, moving into this position, either on the outside of the foot or 2 fingers around the big toe. Each time you move, moving in a solid moment, extending the leg perhaps. And then perhaps taking the leg off to the side. All right, last little bit, the twisting, leg in front, twisting. If you want to challenge your balance, this one will give you a run for your money. Slowly, gently making your way out of your balance position to take a walk. Yes, you'll need a little walk after that. Normalize the joints and the muscles. Good work, good work. Whatever you did today is really, really good work. Each day feels a little different. Some days are balancier than others, so just be really patient with yourself through this practice. Take your feet apart a little bit more than hip distance and shift your weight into your heels. Come into a chair pose, lifting your chest, reaching your hips back behind you, and then slightly pressing your knees 2 millimeters out to each side. Nice deep breath, and we're going to slowly squat down. Keep your heels connected to the floor and go as far as you possibly can into your squat, and then exhale to push back up to standing. We're going to repeat this several times. So, deep breaths. Bend your knees, push your knees slightly apart, 2 millimeters only. Keep your heels connected and come into a squat as low as you can go. Don't worry if you don't get really low. Eventually we'll push through the feet. Exhale, lift. And again, getting ready for a nice deep chair pose. Here we go. Keep breathing. All the way down to squat. Excellent. Press up to standing. And if that went really well, you can take your feet close together or maybe even touching. This makes this a little more challenging. Chair pose. Here we go. Hips back, chest up, weight in the heels. Slightly press the knees apart. And then all the way down into your squat. In yoga, we call this Purva Utkatasana and Uttara Utkatasana, which is kind of like the front legs on the bed and the back legs on the bed, Purva and Uttara. And Utkatasana means thunderbolt. Let's roll the ankles. Roll the ankles. All right. You're doing excellent. We're going to go into a couple of warrior postures. You don't see warrior a ton, but I want you to do these to work the ankles. So we're stepping the left leg back. I want you to pull your right thigh into the hip socket a bit and engage the upper right thigh. Ground down through both feet, both heels touching the mat. Now we're going to lift up gently and bring your leg back to warrior 2. I don't want you to try to square your hips or anything, but I just want you to feel your ankles here. Gently press your feet against the floor and push your heels apart. That's going to give you a little bit more in the outside of the legs. And then you can come back for a reverse warrior just to give your spine a little stretch. Slowly, gently pull your foot up and come back into warrior 1. We always lift that back foot when we switch from one warrior position to the other. Just feel your ankles working here and then gently step out and step into it with the other leg. Right foot steps back. Bend in the knee, pull your left thigh into the hip socket. Lift your belly button up out of your pelvis and your chest up off your belly button. Both heels are grounded. We're going to pick up that back foot and then we're going to step it into a warrior 2, which is more of a squared hip position, but I do not want you to square your hips. Just breathe. A little reverse warrior here for a nice little spinal stretch. And back into that warrior 2. We're going to lift that right leg up and then step back into warrior 1. Pull your left thigh into the hip socket, ground down through both feet. Take a breath. And then gently step into a chair pose again. And come up to standing. And we're going to do something I call duck walks. So come into Uttana, forward fold. And come into a squatting position. We're going to take the left leg and we're going to bring the foot forward. Keep your heel close to your seat. Sit back into your seat and into your heel. Your other toes, right toes, are tucked under. Now from here, we're going to keep the heel as close to the floor as possible and step the right foot forward. Heel on the ground on the right. Sit back into your left hip and then place your left knee on the floor. You come up onto those toes and then slowly, gently step forward with that left foot. Left heel touching. Really work those ankles here. This is a little bit of strength in a lengthened position, so it may feel stretchy. Now we're going to reverse this. We're going to go back. Left toes tuck under, the right ankle is stretching. And then slowly, with control, we're going to step that right foot back. The left heel comes to the floor as quickly as possible. Stretch through the back of the ankle. Still breathing with that slow, smooth breath. Good, and then gently come out. Now we're going to do a little downward facing dog. So get your shoulder blades, slide them towards your hips, rotate the elbow creases forward or squeeze your elbows toward each other. Imagine you've got a block between your elbows and you're squeezing against the block as you're here. Now in your downward facing dog, I want you to place most of your weight in your left foot, all of your weight. We're going to pick up that right foot and stretch through the calf of the left. Maybe even shift your hips right and left and wind through your calf muscles, switching sides. Generous calf stretch here. Placing both heels on the floor and breathing. You got it. And then slowly, gently start to step your way into, we've got the left foot on the floor, the right one tucked behind, and we're coming into like sort of a plank and sort of a downward dog to find your best stretch. We're going to do the same on the right. Kind of a plank, kind of a down dog. It's less about the downward dog and the plank and more about a stretch through the calves. And then come gently out and sit on the floor. Grab yourself a block and one fascia ball. And we're going to do some calf rolling. This is just juicy and yummy. So let it feel good. Roll where it's a little tight. You're welcome to pick your hips up and move, or you can also find a tight spot in your calf and then with a little bit of small bend and straighten. This is really free form. And this is what it looks like, actually, if you were to do that. This is free form, so it's just whatever feels good to you. We all carry our attention a little differently through our bodies. Even from side to side, you'll notice you carry your attention in different areas, right? All right, go into that second side. Nice and slow, nice and smooth. Good work. Let's come out. Reach up, big breath in, stretch your spine. A little gentle twist to the right. Another big inhale and stretching the arms up. And then wiggling your way into a twist on the other side. Now this is legs up the wall. So we're going to get close to a wall. And then we'll move around so that we can face the wall. And your hips either want to touch the wall or be very close as you put your legs up. This helps all of the lymph and any swelling leave the feet and ankles and drain back up toward your heart. Just place your hands on your belly or on either side of your hips. Close your eyes and take yourself a sweet Shavasana. Good work today. Good for you for taking good care of your body.